think you probably have to start about 18 months before, really, because I had lots of symptoms of things going wrong that I'd go to my GP for that were missed. They were seen as little niggly things, on each one on their own, and I'd get a catalogue of things going wrong. The final diagnosis came when I just couldn't speak in my test room. I phoned up my general doctor and they said it was asthma. Come to us, or you can go to your local A&E accident emergency. And at accident emergency, they found I had quite a build-up of fluid in the lung. Said that's not normal, and so they did some more testing, where they first picked up that there was some cancer there, but they weren't sure what exactly was going on. And then within about 2-3 weeks, I was diagnosed with primary lung cancer that had already spread, so I was immediately stage 4. And the wee operation they did then was to try and get rid of the build-up of fluid, but ultimately they sort of like give me 12 months, a prognosis of 12 months, which comes as a bit of a shock when you've got young children and things like that. But turns out that fortunately, the oncologist I dealt with has a bit more knowledge and did some testing. So I avoided chemotherapy and radiotherapy and they found I had a genetic mutation. Exon 19 deletion, that's my favourite deletion, and they had a medication which they claimed at that time they could add on maybe 11 months on top of the year's prognosis, but my oncologist was very positive. She said, you've got a good chance of that going on for years, and here we are 26 months later, and indeed it has been years, up and down, but on the whole I'm still working. So the journey's been not a good one, but probably the best I could have hoped for. In fairness, I'm still at work. That's probably what's keeping me active. I run 4 businesses with some of the partners. I've got 100 staff. I started 2 of those businesses since diagnosis. That's been my driver before, which is a little sad. I have family. I've made sure I spent a lot longer going out with them than I might have done prior to diagnosis. I play golf every week, which sounds like it's not exercise, but it is in my course. In terms of general health, I'm lucky. I've got a great wife who cooks very well for me, healthy food. I no longer eat kind of pre-packaged stuff and things like that, but I still treat myself. I haven't changed dramatically since, and as you can see, I'm not thin, because the big argument is, do you want to retain some weight? It helps you fight things as well. I think my story is one that if all of your team gets it together, and if your health services are willing to fund targeted treatments that actually can save money in the long term, it can prove that I can be an asset to society. I'm not a drain. I've paid more in tax than my treatment has cost this year. You know, I'm very lucky. My understanding is there's an awful lot of people in Europe that aren't so lucky, and I've met a few of those and I've heard their stories, and it's shocking that within the European Union, which is relatively rich, we have such different areas. Now, I would say that Britain isn't perfect and Scotland's not perfect, and even in different parts of Britain it's different. This has to stop. If somebody else has my condition, exon 19 deletion, then they should be allowed the same treatment. It's unfair and it's inhuman.